it's a yucky, creepy time, and like I said, we're going to experience what it was like to live in the Soviet Union at the worst of its worst, when you could not trust anyone.
This I just feel are the forces of darkness or the forces of tyranny. They're dictatorships. We can call it communism if you like, but I mean behind that, it's the same people that have ruined all these different countries and tried to put people in human bondage forever. It's Pharaoh, it's the KGB. It's I understand. And hear me very carefully, all you Masons, and I know you tune in. We have a lot of you. Listen, you better switch sides, because let me explain something to you. Everything that you've been promised in your lodges in secret is going to be denied. Not only that, you will be cannon fodder, because they will start killing off their own to survive themselves. And, the promises they promised you, they can't keep, so they're going to have to. So instead, they're going to put a knife in your back. And so you might as well, since you are, some of you, very spiritual, you think, you're going to have to give up the secret brotherhood, because all they're going to do is, as the Bible says, brother against brother, running each other through with the sword. That's what you're going to have. That's your fate, not a new world order, and certainly not any new Atlantis. This is the time of the vengeance of the holy God, Yahweh,
Amen.
Elohim God, and he is going to avenge the blood that you and your buddies spilled to boost yourselves into political power, whatever else you, religious power, political power, institutional power, and that is going to be dashed from one end of this earth to the other without even hesitation. And on that day, don't find yourself begging for mercy. There is no mercy when you're talking about God protecting his children and avenging what's happened to his saints, his prophets, his workers, his people, for thousands of years. In fact, you could say, Kunita, this entire system is built on the blood of the lambs.
It is. It is. And it's for the average person that is in it, and in it at the bottom, it's a giant Ponzi scheme. The only ones that reap anything are at the top. The ones at the bottom are simply cogs. They're used, misused, replaced, and your fate means nothing.
Nothing.
There's no love. There's no commitment. There's no anything. You're simply a tool, and you're fated to be known as a hologram. You'll be gone. You'll live as if it never existed, because you threw away the only opportunity God has given you.
The Lord wants us to take care of the meek and the poor and the fatherless, the widows and orphans, and deliver the poor and the needy, and rid them out of the hand of the wicked. Because see, the wicked system, Babylon, it's preying upon the people that are in poverty, trying to get them to be useful idiots, and they're preying upon those people. And they're not.
But it's worse. It's worse than that, Jeff. They're not just preying upon them; they're farming them. It's almost as if we have encouraged this cycle of dependency, and these people are out there, and they're a part of a feeding frenzy that's being used by the political forces right now.
By the rich, by the fabulously wealthy.
And they can't see it. It's as if they're a beef cow out there just waiting to be consumed. I mean, that's what they are. They're being farmed. They're being tended.
As Brother
They're
Thomas,
not people.
as Brother Thomas said, as soon as they're used, as soon as they bow down, basically they're thrown out as cannon fodder.
Yeah.
They don't even last 2 seconds. It's not like they're going to get to be a rock star, a rocket scientist, or something like that. And of course, all that's for nothing. If you look at the lives of all rock stars, look how they all end. In total misery, in depravity, misery, and death.
Yeah.
They get 5 minutes of, whatever, worship.
5 minutes of fame,
5 minutes of it, which is really just being worshipped as a god, and then tossed out as, crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was praying.
Most of them don't even get that far. Most of them are the mindless morons that we see as gang stalkers or followers, or that follow people that do other things, or just a part of the evil eye that tries to intimidate us by saying, "I can see you."
Hey, I was in the store the other day, getting some organic vegetation, and what comes on the air, and I ran this by a brother who confirm that that was it's for you, you know. And it was the song by Hall & Oates, Private Eyes. Private eyes are private eyes are watching. Private eyes are watching you. Da 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 da. You know that old song. And you know, I just started laughing. I said, what are the odds on this? Because they're playing completely different kind of like pop music, and they're not really playing, you know, oldies but goodies. You know, they're playing kind of, you know, stuff that's out there around today. And all of a sudden that comes up, and it gets my attention. I just started laughing. I just had to start laughing. Let's just I laugh whenever there's gang stalkers. I just started laughing.
And that aggravates, that angers them, because they're frustrated. They can't do anything because we know where the power is.
Oh, I'm just going to pray. I mean, they better watch out. I'm just going to pray at them, you know. And my father, he's going to, if I bind them and forever, which I have the power to do, to bind their tongue and their minds forever. And I don't even have to do anything. If they even look upon me, that happens to them. So I'm like, you know, pretty immune. I mean, you know, unless you're really stupid. And I'm, you know, just like a lot of you out there who used to be run around by all this, and now you find you're not. Okay, that, by the way, Kunita, that's one manifestation that you can all take to the bank right now. The game has changed. They're afraid of you now.
Rising of the lambs is about to happen. Rising of the lambs is in process right now.
See, they've seen what happens to their friends when they go against the children of the Most High. See, this is not the time for the children of the Most High to die and be tread upon. This is, you guys missed your if you wanted to do that, you should have done that back in the old days. Today, it's no longer that time. If you gang stalk, you'll be marked for death, and that's it. You will just simply, you know, it's the equivalent of going up to God and saying, I'm God, you're not. I mean, or some stupid thing like that. Or going up to, pulling on Superman's cape, as the late Jim Croce said.
Throwing down on God is what they're doing. And that's, you know, that's the ultimate moron.
the ultimate idiot. And so we laugh at you. We have to laugh. And you know, it's not funny. You know, there are those of us who are, you know, get tortured, or you know, kidnap someone and torture them, or you know, whatever criminal thing you do. But then that just becomes another witness against you. The eyes of God then see you doing that, and then you're marked for eternal damnation on that moment, and that's the end of it. And then your own people will turn on you because, you know, you got to keep your secret. You did criminality, and then it's like, well, someone's going to tell. I can't have that, so you start killing each other to get rid of the witnesses.
Well, that society is a cannibalistic society by its very nature. Yeah, that's the only way it can survive.
So, yeah, I don't know, you know, what more we can say. But it's on, and what they don't really understand is that just these little loser people would be the ones that God manifests a lot of this through. I mean, who opens the seals? We do. They don't.
His power in His name.
Right.
Yeah. It's why He put us here.
Well, I mean, He's in us.
Reinforce the verse you just read, chapter brought to my mind in Revelation again, Revelation 22:11.
I love to bust them up when they're like in the workplace, in the like in a market or something like that, or in a store, or like say at a Walmart. It's always great laboratory for spiritual warfare. And they start in like a group of them start like gaslighting you, a term from gang stalk. The gang stalk is just spiritual warfare 101. It's not, there's nothing scientific about it. But anyway, the thing is they start in, and then if you start, I promise you TIs out there, or you call yourselves TIs, and you are TIs, you know, we're all TIs. But if they start in on you, try this. Just bust out, even if you have to be like an actor and fake it, in laughter, make some weird noise like that. And then go run around to where they are, where they're making noises and dropping things and bumping into you, and see what happens when you start laughing uncontrollably.
They hate it when you laugh at them.
Oh, it's unbelievable. They are scatter so fast. If you don't like that kind of thing, all you got to do is start laughing, and they just boom, gone.
Yeah.
And then when you're checking out the counter, they also know what was happening. The person at the counter knows too. So you start laughing. You go, hey, how you doing, Sister Greg? Great, nice day out there. Wonderful. Yeah, it just keeps my future so bright. I got to wear shades or some off the cuff comment like that, and then just go waltzing out of there, just free as a bird.
Yeah.
And you've slain them all, and they're all like in the aisles bleeding. You know.
They not only hate it, they envy you. They won't ever admit it. They envy what we have. They're trying to get it in an artificial way. But they understand to a certain extent what we have, and they envy it as well as fear it.
Well, they just
That's
fear.
why they hate us.
They fear being seen. So when you behave in a manner that shows that you know what's going on, and you could care less, and in fact you're going to go ahead and another thing you could say is, look, you do that again, you realize my Father's Yahweh.
Yes.
You do realize that. You do realize my Father loves me.
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead.
And he has my back.
Yeah, and he's got my back. So I mean, if you want to be that stupid to continue with that, go ahead. But I just want to warn you in advance, what you're dealing with. And if you get tagged, well, we used to say tagged, now it's marked. Marked is a better word. If you get marked, that's being marked for death. You're done. And furthermore, the attachment you have to these people that you love so much, they'll turn on you once you're marked because they don't want the cooties on them.
Yes.
So just...
Yes, because once you're tagged, you're covered, Lon.
That's it. And then they can't be friends with you anymore, so you might as well be, maybe it's God saving you. And so if that's you that's been through that or was one of my persecutors or whatever, and you're marked, and you are, I know several people that are, you've got to give that thing up. I mean, unless you just want to drink yourself to death down in Mexico, sitting there in the condo, and with your school buddies. I know all those old school people listening. But, you have places to go in Aspen and Mexico and Hawaii, and but when you go there, I see you're just sitting at the bar the whole time. What good is that? The palm trees, the oceans. You're at the bar all day, trying to forget what you're doing.
So they've given up. They've given up. They don't see any way out anymore. They don't realize that when you tag them, in a sense, also you're giving them like one last chance to repent.
It's a blessing. That's right.
It is. It's a blessing because they have that. But they don't see that. All they can see is the pain. All they can see is, I can't get where I want anymore. I failed or whatever. Then they respond in anger. They respond in fear.
Well,
they don't know how to respond in love because there is no love.
No, they don't have love on this earth. They don't. They have quid pro quo, and it's like, what have you done for me lately? And if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, and that's the whole system.
That's what they have. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's all they have. That's a pitiful thing, but it is all they have.
Now, I think that you're starting to get the idea, as I've kind of cobbled this broadcast together, that there's a great deal of insight here that's well beyond anything that any of us have ever heard in the media, well beyond anything that's ever been analyzed by psychology or psychiatry or psychology, well beyond, formal group rituals of this or that, or, this Hollywood-esque kind of idea of Satanism, all this sensationalism. It goes beyond Rosemary's Baby and all that kind of Hollywood-esque stuff, paranoia, gang stalking, hive mind, all those things, supernatural, witchcraft, controlling others. We get into the fundamental principle of feeders and feedees, those who are fed upon, those who are set up as victims to take the fall, to hide the ones who are the elites, who are the hypocrites, who are the money grubbers, who are the ones who are doing the evil in society, and then foisting it upon those who don't have the ability to fend for themselves because their children